Hi everyone, my name is Saoirse and this is my colleague Rachel.
Hello.
And in this Library Cafe, we are going to be talking about how to search for information, particularly using LibrarySearch. So Rachel is going to be taking the lead and she's going to be showing you a visual aid that we use to help you to identify what topics you're going to be searching for. So Rachel, I will let you take it away.
Thanks, Saoirse. So, folks, this is just a little chat through how you can break down information when you're looking for information for your assignment. It's just like a little brain teaser that we use, this little diagram, and it works for any kind of information search. Okay, so when you're getting started, what do you do? So first of all, your topic is key. That's central.
Mhm.
And then around your topic, you need to think about, okay, in this assignment, in this essay, what do I want to state? What am I going to answer? And then in connection with that, you need to think about what are the high level kind of concepts or ideas in connection with this topic.
Yeah.
And then once you've identified the concepts, then you need to think about the more nitty gritty things like the keywords. So this is how you're actually going to search for something. Okay.
And Rachel, sorry, just to say those keywords they're like your search terms. You're going to be putting
Yeah.
those words into the little search box
Yeah.
then. Perfect.
Absolutely. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So then moving on, next steps. Then you need to think about how or where are you going to search for your information.
Mhm.
And we'd always say that library search is your first port of call in doing any kind of research in Maynooth Library. And just be clear and consistent, straightforward in your language. Okay, so how do you know then, once you've found results, if you found the right information? So you're using your keywords. You'll find information. It could be things like books, journal articles that could be useful. You're going to read them. And always ask yourself, does this help me to answer my question? It
Mhm.
always has to relate back to the topic. And if it doesn't, then you might need to think about your keywords and start again. So you're the best judge of what's appropriate for your assignment. Okay, so this is just a breakdown on what a kind of typical kind of assignment that you might be given, migration status and impact on children's education. So using that little brainstormer key, how do we narrow it down? So your topic, of course, is central. The next thing is, how do you make a question out of that? So it could be
Mhm.
something like, how does children's migration status impact their educational outcome? So that's what you're going to answer then in your essay. Your concepts, your high level kind of ideas could include things like age, migration, education. The keywords then, which are the more specific kind of items where you're actually going to be searching, could include things like children, child, minor, or migration, immigration, migrant, education, and so on. Now, as we've mentioned, we're suggesting that you use library search to
Yeah.
find your information. So a kind of search that you might then put in could be something like children, migration, education. And then once you've found your results, it's up to you then to evaluate what's appropriate. I'm thinking, answer my topic. Does it help me to answer the essay that I've been assigned? And that's it. That's the basics.
And I think, Rachel, it's really handy. You first of all have your topic in the middle of what we
Yep,
call it's called the research cycle. So it's always there.
absolutely.
You're always checking in, am I answering the question? You turn your topic into a question because if it's a question, then you're going to find those answers easily.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah, I just think it works really, really well. And then the fact that you're using variations of different words, you're going to find something on your topic as well. You're not using the same search terms all the
Yeah,
time, which a lot of
absolutely.
students will do.
Of
So that's
course.
we find that really, really handy. And we actually have that up on our subject guides as well, I
Yep.
think.
We do indeed.
Perfect.
Absolutely. So can people see then my screen? So I'm going to
We
go
can
into,
indeed.
yeah, great. So here's the library homepage, and this is library search. So this is where you're actually going to type in the keywords. Now you can see that other words come up as I'm typing in from previous search, and I'm going to type in, you can see it's actually brought up these words. Doesn't matter how you enter the search, could be in uppercase or lowercase, But your spelling is important, folks. So just remember, if you're having problems, maybe check out and see, have I spelled something correctly? Okay, just to point out a couple of things about this screen then. Obviously, you've got a lot of results here, over 300,000 results, which is quite a lot. Unless you've got a lot of time to spend looking through these results, you're probably going to need to narrow them down. Looking down through the center of the screen, this is where all of the results will show up. And you'll have things like journal articles, you could have books, you could have theses, newspaper articles, all sorts of material. But obviously, you're probably going to need to narrow those results down. And this is where you will use this left-hand panel here. So you have lots of ways of narrowing down your information. Now, first and foremost, because we're off campus, I would suggest that limiting your searches to full text online.
Yeah.
And you can see that as we've made a selection, that you get this little green arrow beside it, and it's like a breadcrumb trail. It tells you what kind of refinements you've done on your search. And we can see the results are beginning to come down a little bit. Now, the next option there, scholarly and peer reviewed, this is like a quality review process that items go through to say that, yes, they're of a high standard. It's like a gold seal of approval. So you know that this information is good, appropriate for third level. Okay. Now, we can see that our results have come down quite a bit. Now, as you work down through that left-hand panel, you've got various ways of, again, narrowing down. Anywhere that you see that little more, you can expand your list of options, or even just decide, okay, what I really want here is journal articles. Right. Now, as we move down that page.
And actually, Rachel, just to say, we got a question in from a few students about the fact that the content type didn't have essay in there, so you can't select essays. So I don't know whether the student means to look for other essays because of the structure of an essay to see what it's like. And in that sense, maybe they would actually ask their lecturer, because all essays, depending on the discipline, might look a bit different. Or whether they meant essays as in journal articles, because sometimes people hear the word journal articles, they're kind of going, what is that? That's literally the articles that you read online. So that's the reason we don't have essays in content type, because the journal articles is what you're going to read along with the other kinds of content when you want to gather information on your topic. So just to say that to answer that student's question.
And really, journal articles, all it is, it's like an academic magazine article.
Yeah,
no different than if you read, the RT Guide or, New Music Express or whatever it is that you're interested in. They will all have articles in them written by various people, but journal articles are of an academic nature. They're scholarly material.
They have kind of key features, I suppose, like they have the topic and they have the authors and they have an abstract summary and
they have
stuff.
Different kind of structure and language and things as well. Okay, so then moving on, under discipline, you've got a range of different things here. And again, anywhere do you see that little more, you can click on that and find a larger list of, and actually, let's just have a look. Okay, so what do you have? You've got an extended list of subject areas there. And you can simply look at that and decide, okay, actually, I want to click by education. And then I'm going to apply that.
And always click apply, because loads of times I clicked and then logged out.
Yeah, it can be detrimental if you don't. So you can see now that we've just over 5,000 results. Still a lot, but it's come down. Now you could keep going down through that. You've got subject terms. You could have a look at the little more, but I'm happy at the moment that this is okay for me. Okay, so let's explain the screen then. So let's just look at one of these results. So you have your title. You've got your author information there. You have the journal title and details, the volume and issue and so on. And underneath, let's see, you've got your full text, and we'll talk about this in a moment. You've also got a preview, and this is kind of handy. Because this is like a little synopsis of what that particular article is about. So it's a short summary. So instead of just going in reading the entire article, you can read that there and decide, is this appropriate for me or not? So a handy little thing. Anywhere you see that preview, click on it and it'll give you an idea what that item is about. Just to explain a couple of these little items here onto the right hand side of your title, Okay, you have the permanent link. That's just the URL. You can copy and paste that into a document. You've got to cite this item, and I'm going to have a look at
We
this.
all love that too.
This is the great thing that helps with your referencing. We'll have a look at this in a minute. You've got an email this item. So, you know, just click on that, pop in your university email address and send the thing to yourself. Or you have this little temporary storage area, a little folder there that you can save things in, and they'll be there for up to 2 hours. Okay, the site everybody loves. Let's have a look at this. So cite this item. Okay, you come into this screen and it says choose a citation format.
Then what style does your discipline tend to use?
Yeah, so there's a range there. So let's look at Harvard. That tends to be quite a common one that's used within college. There's your item laid out using the Harvard style, and you can simply copy and paste that into an assignment. Okay.
We'd always say check it just in case, you know, that way, just to make sure. And if it doesn't look right, because you tend to, I suppose, you identify when it doesn't look the kind of style it's meant to be. So just double check it, but usually it's absolutely fine to use.
You can even edit it or something if it's a little stylistically different to what your department use. Just to finish on an item here as well, I've mentioned about this temporary storage area, and it lasts up to 2 hours. And if you decide, as I'm scrolling through these results, I'm going to save a couple, and you can see that little one goes into that folder up there. Okay, let's click in a couple of these. And you can see that the number is going up.
Yeah.
And at the end, you might decide, well, here's the items that I've saved. And you might decide you're going to print them, email them, or if you had a thing called a bibliographic piece of software, you might send it there. But in another
session, for saving, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, it's a handy little storage. It's a temporary storage. Now, in another session, we might look at something called RefWorks login, and that's where you can make these searches saved permanently. So that'll be covered in another session.
Absolutely.
Just to mention again, folks, that if you haven't at this point already done your off-campus login to the library, there is a little reminder up here in the top half of the screen that tells you, you know, to log in. Because if you want to look at full text items, then you need to have logged in to off-campus.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's see. Can I go back to my results there for a minute? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, looking at a full text result, what do? Click on the full text online.
So it should bring you directly to the full text.
Now, in some cases, you might find that you have to click through a couple of screens.
Yeah.
Don't worry, folks, that's normal. It just depends. The different suppliers have the things laid out differently.
Yeah.
So in this case, this is what it looks like in this one. Okay. And then you'll have an option for PDF if you're logged into off-campus, and you can click on it to view it. Okay, folks, I think we're just coming near the end of our time here. So, Saoirse, any questions at this point?
No, I think that was everything the students had asked in our Instagram poll. You have your full text, make sure you're logged in off campus. Yeah, full text, so you can read it there and then on your screen, or you can download as a PDF onto your PC for another time. Scholarly and peer review we covered as well. Some students didn't know what peer review meant. So yeah, that is the end of our 4th Library Cafe. And if students have any questions about anything we covered today, they can get in touch with us. They can DM the page or Instagram page, anything at all. Send the team an email and we will get back to you.
Absolutely.
So that is it. And yeah, until next week then.
Okay, folks, thanks. It's been a pleasure.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.